So today we're going to look at the literature passage from Practice Test 3 from Saki, the Shorts-Metterklume method, originally published in 1911. Number 1. Which choice best summarizes the passage? B was correct. A woman does not correct a stranger who mistakes her for someone else. In the passage, Lady Carlotta is approached by the imposingly attired lady, Mrs. Quabarl, while standing at a train station. Mrs. Quabarl assumes Lady Carlotta is her new nanny. Miss Hope. You must be Miss Hope, the governess I've come to meet. Lady Carlotta does not correct Mrs. Quabarl's mistake and replies, Very well, if I must, I must. Number 2. In line 2, turn most nearly means. The correct answer is C, short walk. In lines 1 through 3, the narrator states that Lady Carlotta stepped out to the platform of the small wayside station and took a turn or two up and down its uninteresting length in order to kill time. In this context, Lady Carlotta was taking a turn or a short walk along the platform while waiting for the train to leave the station. 3 and 4 were paired questions. You should have looked on these line numbers here for the answer to number 3. The passage most clearly implies that other people regarded Lady Carlotta as outspoken, and it was in lines 10 through 14 that the narrator states that some of Lady Carlotta's acquaintances would often admonish or criticize Lady Carlotta for meddling in or openly expressing her opinion on other people's affairs. So 4 was A. Number 5. The description of how Lady Carlotta put the doctrine of non-interference into practice, lines 14 through 15, mainly serves to C. Provide a humorous insight into her character. The narrator notes that Lady Carlotta decided not to interfere when one of her most eloquent exponents was stuck in a tree because an angry boar was nearby. This eloquent exponent was a woman who often criticized Lady Carlotta for interfering in other people's affairs. Lady Carlotta's decision to put the doctrine of non-interference into practice, or to not help her female acquaintance who was besieged in a tree, suggests that Lady Carlotta has a sense of humor. Number 6. In line 55, charge most nearly means A. Responsibility. The narrator explains that Mrs. Quabarl told Lady Carlotta about the nature of the charge when she gave Lady Carlotta details about the Quabarl children. Since Lady Carlotta is pretending to be a governess, the term charge refers to her responsibilities, or job duties, when caring for the Quabarl children. 7. The narrator indicates that Claude, Wilfred, Irene, and Viola are A. Similar to many of their peers. Lady Carlotta learns about Mrs. Quabarl's children, Claude, Wilfred, and Irene. The narrator then describes Mrs. Quabarl's child Viola as something or other else of a mold equally commonplace among children of that class and type in the 20th century. This statement about Viola implies that all of Quabarl children have skills typical or of a mold equally commonplace to other peers in their social class. Number 8. The narrator implies that Mrs. Quabarl favors a form of education that emphasizes. The correct answer was B. Active engagement. In lines 62 through 69, Mrs. Quabarl explains to Lady Carlotta that she wants her children to actively participate in their education, and that Lady Carlotta should not create lessons that require her children to simply memorize historical figures and dates. Mrs. Quabarl emphasizes an education centered on active engagement when she states that her children should not only be taught, but interested in what they learn. 9 and 10 were paired questions. You should have started with these line numbers to find the answer to number 9. As presented in the passage, Mrs. Quabarl is best described as B. Outwardly imposing, but easily defied. In lines 77 through 82, the narrator describes Mrs. Quabarl as appearing magnificent and autocratic, or outwardly domineering, but easily cowed and apologetic, when someone challenges or defies her authority. So lines 77 through 82, 10 was D.